In fact, I've had a lot of clients for whom it's been really successful. Not young people, as you say, not children at school, because there are a whole lot of inherent dangers there about lack of awareness and knowing about different sorts of stranger danger. But just like you, a lot of women and men have had a great deal of success because you can do it in your own time, can't you?
Yes.
And you can put yourself forward as much as you want to. So it's really good to hear that you've had success. I'm sure you'll have lots of great success with it.
I've got to ask you a question. Are you trying to find Mr. Right or Mr. Right now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's my trouble.
And the people that you met have become friends, not lovers or intimate.
Just friends.
Just friends.
Yeah.
What do they look like when you finally got to see them in the flesh?
I've found there's been a few dishonest males
You
with
bet.
their age. You get there and they go, well, and you go, oh, okay. It's, they do lie about their age.
I find the concept of internet dating a little bizarre because you don't know what you're getting. You know, I'm a guitarist, one of my passions, and I go hunting on the net for guitars. But I swear I'd never buy one on the net unless I actually got it, felt it, touched it, and played it.
I don't do internet dating, but I got a story.
Have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
my little cousin, her mother died when she was about 12, and so my auntie adopted her, so she's not really my cousin. But when she was like 14, she met this guy on the internet and gave him her number and stuff and got his, and sort of went to meet him, and he was like 36 years old and had this little daughter and stuff.
Different
and so
story.
I think there's a bit of a sort of inherent danger with internet dating because there are like 5-year-old kids who can like use the internet better than I can.
There's a
And
risk
so-
for young people,
Yeah,
definitely, absolutely, 100%.
But then again, I know some people who like had very successful relationships, like with people they met on the internet. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
I am single, I have been for a long time. If I was to do anything, I would actually go for a dating agency that's reputable. So I'd get over the internet.
Thank you very much for that. Have you always been a clinical psychologist?
Pretty much, yeah.
And what about yourself?
I'm a psychiatric social worker. Yeah, I actually work in a mental health facility.
Could you tell me what's actually kept your relationship for such a long time? What's been your secret?
I suppose keeping the passion alive, having goals and discussing goals, having good communication.
Working hard at it in the sense of, the big C, communication.
Yeah.
Always making sure that you communicate, even when it's difficult, making sure you put the hard yard in, never taking each other for granted.
We keep recreating our relationship from year to year. The relationship we have now is intrinsically different from the relationship we had 19 years ago.
Has anyone been in a situation where their spouse or partner has played around behind their back and they found out, and what happened?
Betrayed right from the word go for a very, very long time, and I didn't know about it, but I led a life that was run on lies and deceit, and I didn't know about it. So I changed my job, I left my family, moved, brought children into this, not knowing all of these things. So I'm living a life that's based on a lot of lies and deceit. And then you find out and you think, well, you've just trashed our whole life. How can you forgive that? How can you forgive bringing 2 children into the world knowing what you're doing? And then people say, well, you have to forgive to get over it. But everywhere you turn, it's pushed back in your face because you have 2 children that you now have to bring up, and there's things that you can't do anymore, and things that you've got to face that weren't what you believed was what you changed your life for. So it's very difficult to get over something like that, very difficult to forgive and move on, and you can't sometimes move on because every time you turn around, it's thrust back in your face again. So you've got to deal with it over and over and over. So I'd like to know how you do forgive something that's gone on for a very long time.
Sally?
I'm not sure you necessarily need to forgive the other person. What you need to do is forgive yourself, and you've got 2 beautiful children, and to look at all the wonderful things that have happened in your life that you can now get on with being yourself and do the things that you need to do. And the other person is really not part of that. If they were so deceitful, that wasn't a real person that you knew anyway.
No, that wasn't
So it's no need to deal with that anymore. It's more about dealing with the practicalities.
That's true, but the practicalities of of doing things or working around things is still difficult because this person is still involved because of the children, and makes it really difficult as well. And it's still there in your face the whole time.
When something's in your face all the time, as you say, that is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So then I guess that's when you need to work out ways that you can try and put other things in the middle to have that little bit of distance, because that is obviously too raw for you to deal with that at the moment. So you've got lots of friends and support people. And there are other ways. I mean, I can't go into them all now, but I know that it is difficult.
I agree with Sally. Your life's a book. It's a series of chapters. And it was adventurous, pleasant and fun up until chapter 12, which turned into rubbish. But that doesn't mean the rest of the book can't be just as good as what went before. You've got great kids, obviously. You've got people who support you and love you. It was not wasted.
No,
a diamond in cow dung is still a diamond. So wash the cow dung off and join them.
I'll use
Yeah.
that.
Realistically, if you're actually experiencing this problem, it's easy for people around you to say, okay, just forget it, you've got this and you've got that. But when you're actually experiencing that pain, if your partner has deceived you, no one can feel your pain.
That's what you're saying about the pain, but I agree with you also about the communication. Any relationship that's worth its salt is based on good communication.
I bet you've developed strengths you never knew you had as a result of that. Correct? Correct. The difference, Sally and I were talking about this before, the difference between winners and losers is that when winners fall over, they get up. When losers fall over, they stay down. And you're a winner.
The key point is to also look at yourself, honestly, and say, what have I done to attract this relationship, to attract this experience? What is it in me that brought this about? So rather than looking to the other, because it's hard to heal when you're constantly looking outside yourself, when you can't control what someone else does or what the environment is, what's happening in the environment. So I found a key to healing myself is to start with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Sally Gardner and Colin Greater.
Thank you.
Don't go away. After a short break, we'll talk to Jan Patricia, who is a psychic medium and homeopath.
When you told me about the concept of the show, I was fascinated about it, bringing the show to the people. And so I think it's one of the best concept of shows. And, like about real people. You know what, Real People Television, man, it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun doing the show. So we're going to bring it to the people out there.
When you go out without your girlfriend, do you hit on any other girls?
No way. Why would I do that?
So what do you think the Australian guys are lacking to European guys?
Being open, being not so prude, and being not too shy.
I've been gay my whole life, pretty much.
Has that affected your relationship with your parents by any chance?
No, they're fine with it. Everyone's fine with it because I'm still me. If I keep my roots and keep who I am, then it shouldn't bother anyone else.
Welcome back to Real People TV. Have you had a psychic experience or a supernatural phenomenon? Please welcome Jan Patricia, who is a psychic medium. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Therese.
Jan, can you give us an insight into your background?
I think I was a very peculiar little girl and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't seem to fit into the normal range of what people were experiencing as their life, and I thought, I think I've come from a different planet. Where do I fit in? But because I assumed I was always seeing things happening before they actually happened, I thought everyone was having those experiences, and it was quite a shock to realise there's something very wrong with me, or I'm very, very different. But fortunately, someone took me to a psychic when I was quite young, a very long time ago, and the psychic sort of said, you need to start doing readings and finding out about yourself and your spirituality, because I didn't understand that was what was going on for me. And it's just been a fantastic journey of learning and discovery. I think that psychics are genuine ones, and I think the real ones usually have a fair idea that they're a little different at a very young age.
Jan, so many people claim to be psychic or have some sort of ability.
Yeah.
How can one tell the difference?
Well, I get a lot of people say to me that